Good afternoon. Welcome back to Dan's Trades. Today is July 21st, 2025. It's a Monday. As always, do your own research. Take a look and see what's cooking. We're at all-time highs again. All-time highs on Friday. All-time highs again this morning. Just a wild run-up at the open. I wasn't even in front of my charts to watch this. Pre-market, London, Asia overnight. So just took off like a rocket ship right at the 9:30 open, never looked back. So lots of inefficiencies down here. New York lunch. Came back up, left the AM session highs, so we got highs sitting up here, which was interesting because YM, the lunch, took the high. ES, the lunch, took the high. NQ, it did not. So a little bit of SMT on the sessions there. So I was looking for potential rebalancing of some of these inefficiencies. We see first presentation fair value gap, the one little tap on the 1 minute chart there. Definitely flew, so it hasn't been back there since. That's why it's still a blue color. So I don't like scalping against the higher time frame order flow, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I was just looking for some rebalancing of this lunch area after the macro was very consolidated, very tight, leaving that high. So admittedly, I didn't have a lot of confidence in this one, so it was very low probability in my eyesight, so I didn't want to hang on to trades very long. But my idea was to take a short position to come down and rebalance some of these lows here. And watching the macro here, once we dip below, I had the same setup over here on the broker account where I don't have indicators because I just trade over here. So there's the lunch run up, 1240. Some nice targets there. We see prices there right now, so obviously it went down, so mystery solved. But what I didn't do is I didn't have a ton of patience, again, since we had these highs sitting up there. I wasn't really liking my invalidation points because it could have very easily came up and taken the highs just like ES and YM already had. But I was like, okay, we'll take some very short-term scalps. We retraced up, entered short. Again, it's only the third time I've been short in a while. Targeting here, targeting down here, ultimately down here was the idea. But I didn't want to wait a long time. So it came back up against me a little bit of drawdown, not a lot. So 408, 411. I didn't like my stop being up here with these relative equal highs. But that's about where my invalidation point was, because if it went here higher, it was probably going and keep cruising higher for even more all-time highs. So entered a third position when we spiked up and took this by 1 or 2 ticks, it looks like. So high, 417.50, 417.50. 417.50, so I saw these, it's like, that's engineering liquidity. Most likely for later was my idea. And it was right, because it did start moving down. But it wasn't moving down as fast as I would like it to. And this is right after the macros had closed, so this is macro time, 14:10 ended right here. So shortly after this macro was consolidation, I was looking for the move down. Came down. Short time frame price delivery was to sell side liquidity, so it came up in a retracement, entered short, retraced a little bit more, final bust, looking for moves down. A lot of consolidation to live through. Finally started spiking down, took out the first one. I said, you know what, I'm just going to start clearing them below where my order was. I wasn't looking for a lot today. Being it's Monday, I don't really like trading Mondays a lot. And especially shorting near all-time highs is not a big fan of mine, but I was looking for rebalancing of those lunch dealing range. So paired one off there, took 5 off there. Then since it just meandered, I said, you know what, I'm not playing. I'm just going to be done. I'm in a tiny amount of profit. I don't like Monday. I'm just going to cut it off here. So I just closed my trade. That was fine. I was like, that's cool. I'm in small profits. It's a win for the day, win for Monday. at like 90% win rate, so I'll take that. And it consolidated more, came down a little bit. My next targets were down here, right at 400. Spiked back up, then it came down, spiked to 400, came up, and then we had the drop out. Came at 1447, getting ready for the next macro. And it's continued lower. So I'm happy that I read price correctly. I had the right idea. Just didn't have a lot of patience for it today, and I'm perfectly fine with cutting my trade early at small profits versus potentially going back following the higher time frame order flow and taking me out. So it is what it is. That's today's trades. Definitely came down. Here's the lunch lows. It came down and waited for it. Did not take them out on this spike down. Probably going to hit it here. We're inside the final hour macro right now. So we see it with the indicators over here. Leaving the lunch lows still right there. Final hour macro's running another 15 minutes. We're just about halfway through it right now. Let's see. Yep, so that's all. We didn't trade the morning, didn't trade the run up. Didn't try and guess at anything. It's a nice Judas swing down. Pre-market, there's 850. And the 930 is right there. So just one little small scalp. Again, didn't want to hold for much, but at least it panned out where I was expecting it to. Just need to get a little bit more patience. Easier said than done sometimes. It is what it is. I'll take it for a win though. Profits are profits. I was doing a quick glance. Just under 4,000 in profits on this account. Today, daily win. So there's our equity curve moving up. Slowly but surely. Nice jump up there last week. That was a good day. That was that $1,200 day. So we'll just take the small bites. And we're still hanging tough. So good stuff. We'll keep running it. Best trade, worst trade. Apparently Monday's my most active. Which is kind of odd to look at that, but short scalps work. I'll just watch the market on close macro, but I'm just not going to keep this open the whole time, I don't think. Lunch right below AM high, PM low right below, or right above lunch low. Two juicy liquidity points on both sides. Market on close could be very interesting to watch. All right, we'll leave her at that. Hope you're doing well. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Remember, tomorrow is promised for none of us. Live for today. Peace.